We were going to have a shelter at this particular location.
This migrant crisis is out of control in many different states across America. Many different cities like Chicago, New York City, Denver, Colorado, California, especially Southern California, down there in Houston and Texas. So many different places where these migrants are bombarding U.S. cities, and the cities are not equipped or have the manpower nor the resources to deal with these migrants, these influx of migrants that's coming in. As you can see there from the clip, many Chicagoans are very disgruntled with what's going on, and they feel like they don't have a voice. They feel like the mayor that they voted in does not speak for them. He does not represent them. And I told you guys, this guy's a one-term mayor. He has no power. He's there to do what he's told. But now they're talking about a diaper crisis. These immigrants coming in and they don't have enough diapers for their children. And again, I told you guys, these people are bringing these people in into your communities where you pay taxes. You have no say-so. This is supposed to be America. You have no say-so, and they're just doing it anyway. But then they have the audacity to go on to the news and say that these people are in danger when they get here. There's a diaper crisis. You don't believe me? Check this out.
Families living in Chicago facing a serious problem tonight. It's putting their children's safety at risk, a diaper shortage.
Tia Ewing joins us live now with a closer look at this. Tia.
Well, Don and Scott, I spoke to a mother who's living inside this shelter here in the 2300 block of South Halsted here in the Lower West Side. You could hear the chaos, but what she explained to me through that phone call is that she's actually living it.
They're only allowed 2 diapers a day, and that's per child.
This is the shelter for families located on 23rd and Halsted.
The diaper situation is not fair to everyone.
Maria Perez comes here Monday through Friday to serve up free hot cocoa and coffee. She's followed many of the asylum seekers from the police stations to the shelter.
But not just the crisis where you see the Latino lady speaking in town hall meetings. The people, the residents of areas in Chicago are voicing their opinions. And it's basically going unheard. It's like a dog and pony show. I don't even understand why they even have these town hall meetings to listen to the people if you're still going to do what you want to do despite hearing them say that they don't want it. You're going to still do it anyway. This is the disrespect. Check this out.
Good evening, everyone. I'll show you how disrespectful this is. On the 5 o'clock news, they projected that the migrants would be here by Saturday. Look, welcome to the welcoming city. Well, I got to tell you, only certain areas are welcoming. That's us. They want us. They say they want to use this park, but let me tell you, LaSalle Street, Clark Street, all the office buildings, nobody wants to be in the loop anymore. They all want to move west because of new buildings with better amenities. Those buildings are empty right now with water, heat, and everything. But they don't want the migrants down there. We're not anti-migrants, but this is so disrespectful for them to just sit up here with this crap and we're supposed to listen to it. You know what? If you would had your right mind and see a crowd like this, you would say to yourself, they don't want it.
But in this town hall meeting, they wasn't finished. There was a black woman that spoke very passionately about how she feels about the safety of the children in Chicago. She was saying, you guys can't track these people. You don't know who they are or where they're coming from. These countries are just dumping their people onto America. We don't know who these people are. We already have enough problems in our communities, and now you want to bring these people in. Well, let's listen to what this lady had to say at this town hall meeting.
I just want to know, why are we not important enough for him to show up for us when we showed up for him? We voted for him. We walked door to door. We was out here advocating for him to be the next mayor of the city of Chicago. He has not showed up for us for anything. We had to battle the floods by ourselves. We have to battle this violence by ourselves. He doesn't help us do anything. And I want to know what he's going to do about this. I was one of the first Windy City cheerleaders on the first team they even had. This is what these kids need for this community. We got violence, we got poverty, we already getting scrapped. Why do we always got to be at the bottom of the barrel? I feel like we under the rats and the damn roaches. Y'all treat us like anything, and we just supposed to take it. Now, I'm not saying that I want the migrants to be misplaced. I'm not saying that I don't want them. I don't want them here. That's not going to help us. We got a school right here our kids go to. We don't know these people coming through here. Y'all can't track these people. Our kids are not safe. So I want to know why he's not here to address us and let us know what he's going to do. I think he owes us
Thank you, ma'am.
But then we get to Denver, Colorado, where now city officials is saying that they want certain workers to cut their hours to be able to pay so they can save money to be able to pay for migrants coming into the city. Imagine you going to work every day and you're struggling to pay your bills. You're living paycheck to paycheck. You're trying to figure it out. And then your boss or the powers that be come and tell you, hey, we're going to cut some of your hours to make room for some illegal immigrants to come into the country illegally. How would you feel about that? What type of country are we living in? Well, that's what they're asking over there in Colorado. Check this out.
Now, we're going to get to your city, Chicago, in a minute, but I want you to kind of weigh in, if you could, for me, Kata, on what's happening in Denver, because now Denver is cutting the hours of city employees to pay for the migrants. I mean, the Parks and Recreation director said the following, quoting here, "The reduction in hours of operation and programs will affect the number of hours worked by many on call, some to the point where they may not receive any hours. Final decisions on hours for any individual position have not been made yet." Can you imagine someone walking up to you saying, listen, we have to take care of these migrants, so we're cutting your paycheck? Kata.
Of course I can imagine. And it's the same thing that we're seeing here in Chicago that is happening all over the country where migrants are being deposited. There's no money to take care of them. The president is standing back saying that we have newcomers as if they're supposed to be here. And I think that what people have to realize, and I have to keep saying this, is that at least in Chicago, sanctuary city status only means that we will not report you to the authorities. It does not mean that we are responsible for housing and taking care of you. And again, we're putting migrants before the people in these cities. So now you're saying to the people in Denver, we're going to cut your hours, possibly taking away your livelihood so that we can take care of someone else.
Right.
In what world does that make sense?
So it's really sad and it's crazy that they would bring these people in and ask the American people to basically take a pay cut so we can allow other immigrant groups to come in and possibly, upstage you. And we're going to move them into your community as well. It's sad, but it's not the only place that it's happening. We get to New York City, and crime is just going out of control in New York City now with these migrants coming in. We have a bunch of slashing going on the subways. You have all kinds of rings being ran by migrants that's being broken up by the police department and the FBI. There was one ring here where you had migrants. They was on mopeds doing some things with cell phones, and it's just out of control in the city of Gotham, man. Check this out.
A migrant robbery ring plaguing New York with suspects getting away on scooters. Police saying they're looking for the ringleader. Fox 5 New York's Lizette Nunez joining us now with the latest from One Police Plaza. Lizette, good morning.
Good morning, and this was a pretty sophisticated robbery ring, I should say. Now, I did check in with police this morning who tell me they have arrest warrants for 3 other individuals, and they believe others were also involved. Last night, 2 suspects were arraigned in part of an organized migrant robbery ring, with more expected to be arraigned. One migrant was held on a $10,000 cash bond bail and charged with 6 counts of grand larceny. Another was granted supervised release because his charges were not bail eligible, but was still held due to an arrest warrant in Queens. Police are still looking for the ringleader, 30-year-old Victor Parra from Venezuela. Investigators say Parra would send out messages via WhatsApp, telling the group what to steal.
They are, nonetheless, preying on New Yorkers and making our city less safe.
Yesterday, in his annual trip to Albany, Mayor Adams signaled that he's open to issuing an executive order allowing for the NYPD to notify ICE about migrants who commit dangerous felonies.
That is something we would love to entertain and to look at.
In 2014, the City Council passed a law that would place limits on how the NYPD can cooperate with ICE. Adams says it would be up to his legal team to see if he could override this law, but agreed that migrants who commit serious crimes should not be allowed to live here.
I believe if you create repeated felonies in our city, the federal government should do its job and have that individual deported from our city.
And investigators have referred to those individuals connected to this ring as ghost criminals. And the reason for that is because they are hard to track down. A lot of them don't have social media. Investigators have gone on to say that it has been challenging to confirm their actual names as well as their date of birth. That's the latest here from One Police Plaza. We'll send things back inside.
Lizette Nunez reporting their very detailed report. Lizette, really quickly, I want to ask you, you know, that migrant situation out in New York City, an ever-going problem for many of those in politics. But I want to ask you, with these robberies now occurring, are many people on edge?
I think people are more vigilant, just it comes with living here in New York City. But one thing we have heard from police is that they continue to work to make those arrests. So hopefully this case comes to a close soon.
Lizette Nunez with Fox 5 New York. Lizette, we always appreciate you joining us here on Live Now to keep the viewers informed. You enjoy the rest of your day.
So you have a crime spree going on with Venezuelan migrants and 30-year-old Victor Parra. That's who they're looking for. They're riding by on scooters. They're snatching chains, cell phones, selling drugs, gang banging. It's just a whole bunch of stuff that's going on. A lot of them are starting to get in fights with the black gangs there. The drill is slashing, shooting. I mean, it's just a rootin' tootin' shooting gallery going on over here. I mean, it's just wild. And the U.S. government, a lot of them is to blame for this because you're bringing in these migrants, these people that don't belong here. They don't belong here. So you're seeing the video of them taking them out. I mean, it's well, you know what? I'm not shocked because we live in America. But there's also this black woman. She took her camera and she went looking around at some of these migrant shelters and some of these placements where they're placing these migrants and they're living better than people living in New York. You know, it's hard to get, good housing in New York City because it's so expensive to live. But check out this video where she went to this place looking, showing how these migrants live. Check this out.
All they're saying, Tiffany, is it's not fair.
It's totally not fair. It's totally not fair. I was one of the few Harlem residents that went on that tour, and it's a beautiful location. And we have a housing project right across the street, St. Nicholas Houses, where they're getting ready to be relocated or displaced because they're going under renovation. So I did ask the mayor and I asked all the other city officials there, instead of displacing the senior citizens or people that are disabled, if we're going to make this a migrant or we're going to make this a shelter period, why not make it for the people across the street in that housing project of over 3,000 people with disabilities and senior citizens? Why not move them in there?
I would say this in closing to the black community. As you can see what's going on in Chicago, New York City, they don't care about whether you want them there or not. You have no rights. You have no ownership of nothing. You have your economic power is not, you're not in a position of economic power because your dollar goes into your community and right out of it within hours. And because you have no economic power, you have no political power and no ownership of nothing. So as Dr. Claude Anderson told us, you are a guest in your own communities, and now you're being pushed out and displaced. And the United States government is saying, hey, we want to bring these people in because we want to replace you and use these people for votes. We want to give them the right to vote. We want to allow them to become police officers. We want to allow them to achieve the American dream. Right in front of your face. And we want to show you what we could have done, but we'd rather do it for them. No, we're not going to do anything for you. Because you sat around thinking that they owe you something and they're supposed to give you something. How many of you guys out there watching my video today work with another black man or woman to make the community better in the last 2 years? How many have you co-opted with other brothers and sisters to buy a property where you live at? To obtain, maintain, and sustain the communities where you live? How many of you have done this? So you have a 15th degree black belt and talking about WS and what the dominant society has done to you. But what have you done for yourself as a people because of what they've done to you? I'm going to say that again. You have a 15th degree black belt and talking about what WS and the dominant society has done to you in the Bible and the Quran. But what have you done with other black people to obtain, maintain, and sustain the communities that you live in, where you can have political and economic power? What have you done? See, these are the questions that you need to ask. If you say that we at war, we on the war front, what are you doing to combat the enemy? Oh, you don't get along with your brother. Oh, you rather get some money and move around move into the WS community, away from your people. There's no power in that. There's no power in that. We've been here a long time. We got a chance to see what it's like voting Democrat. We've gotten a chance to see what it's like voting Republican. We have no friends, as Dr. John Henry Clark has told us. We have no friends. What are you going to do about it? Now all this stuff is happening right in front of your face. What you going to do? Go pray to Jesus? You going to pray to Allah and hope that he comes save you? Or you going to roll up your sleeves and start working with your brothers and sisters and get to work? Or is it too late? I'm going to cut it short there. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to Street Media TV. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.